The Sultan sat on his oriental mat in his harem, High Street, Persia. He took one sip of his coffee, just a drip, and he said to his slave, "Oh, curse ya, oh, curse ya, curse ya, curse ya. It's the horriblest coffee in Persia." All together. What I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Where were you? So now, because I have magic hands, I'm going to clap my hands in a minute, and words are going to appear on the wall like this. Watch. So look, you've got no excuse now. So we're just going to just have a little bit. There's no words on there you don't know. There's no rude words or anything, but it might be a little bit of a strain for your brain. So should we have a little go together? So it goes, what I want. Let's have a little sing, see what comes out. We'll do it a little bit slow for those who are perhaps a little bit lingually challenged. Ready? Go! What I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper cup of coffee pot. Good. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Very good. Now, I'll tell you what, for a first go, that was awesome. Now, I wasn't looking too closely, but most people's mouths were moving. If the person next to you is faking it and just miming, will you out them and just the whole idea is we have a little go. You heard the first verse already. I'm going to do the second verse now. When it comes down to the chorus, you can join in, okay? This is all part of the story. And just listen to instructions and nothing can go wrong. Alrighty? King Solomon with the Queen would carry on, as we read in ancient scandals. He gave her lots of silver coffee pots with diamond spouts and handles. But said the Queen of Sheba, "I'd rather have any old T-bone." You got to sing like an old lady, ready? Now what I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee pot. It falls apart a little bit, that last line, doesn't it? I think there's a lady in the middle there singing, she must be into catering in men in uniform. She's singing, "If I can't have a proper cup of coffee, I'll have to ask the copper in for tea." But there we go. Right, so you're kind of getting used to it now. The next bit's a bit in French. So if there's any French speakers in here, it's not an advantage at all. But here's verse the third. When Bonaparte found that he was in the cart and he'd lost that Waterloo fight, he gave his sword up to Wellington the Lord and he said, "You British, you do fight. Yes, you've won Waterloo, sir. Now what am I having with you, sir?" They're going to do it in French now, ready? What I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee from a proper coffee pot. A tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Doesn't make any difference if it's in French or English, isn't it? It's still going to mess it up. Right. So listen, I think we're getting together with this one. So the last verse, when we get to the chorus, we're going to start really slow and then we're going to build up the speed. So by the time we get to the last line, put your hand there in case any teeth come flying. Those who are using cheap denture fixative are going to wish they hadn't. Here you go. So this is the last verse, and thanks for playing along, because audience participation is nothing without participation. In days of old, when nights and days were bold, and whiskey was much cheaper, Dick Turpin went to the coffee stall and showed his gun to the coffee stall keeper. Said he, "Stand and deliver, good heavens, I'm all a quiver." Now what I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, keep on to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee come on, come on, come on, come